Welcome back. Today, we are going to learn how to insert data into worksheets. We will practice inserting data using three different methods: using the paste, special options from the clipboard, copying data from one worksheet to another, autofill, and some practice using some basic formulas. All right, for this video, you should be opening the Minecraft Farm Sales workbook that you downloaded previously from our DIT class shared file for Excel assignments. All right, this workbook has two worksheets in it: 2019 sales and 2019 sales expenses. The first one that we are going to start working with is the 2019 sales data. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out so we can see more of the information. Okay. And it looks like we have our 2019 sales reports with the items, our regions of our sales departments, 2017, 2018, current year, and a difference column. The first thing we want to do is we want to practice using autofill. We click and select cell F5. We want to use autofill to copy that formula, which takes E5 minus D5 to find the difference between 2018 sales and the current year's, all the way down to the end of our sales report. So I'm going to click on the lower right-hand corner of that cell F5, and I'm just going to drag down until I get to the very end of our sales report. Looks like it ends on F70, and then I'll let go. Isn't that neat how it autofills all the calculations? And let's go ahead and check and make sure our formula has changed. So I'm going to select F61. Sure enough, it copied that formula so that E61 minus D61, and this was the result. Now for my students, this is one thing that we need to understand is you'll notice that some of the numbers are in parentheses and some are not. For accounting purposes, anytime a number is negative on a sales sheet, a revenue sheet, negative numbers are placed inside parentheses to show that they are negative. We actually don't use, for accounting purposes, the negative annotation. So when you see a number for businesses in parentheses, that means it's negative. Okay, let's go ahead and scroll up. Looks like it copied it. Pretty cool. So our next thing is we want to use autofill again. If we scroll down, it looks like someone stopped typing our product. We want to autofill the word sugar or product sugar all the way down to right before A28 before it hits pumpkin, and just let go. I'm going to do the same thing for pumpkins. So I'm going to select A29, go into my lower right-hand corner, and drag down until I get just before berries. Let's practice this again with berries. Select A35, change my cursor to the lower right, and drag down to A40. I'm going to select the mushrooms, lower right-hand corner, and drag down to A46. We're going to keep doing this for carrot, A47 to A52. Then we need to autofill for potato, and pork and beef are our last two. Now before we move on, let's go ahead and look at our very last line of our sales data. For the Puerto Rico, Bahamas region, there's these dashes, these number signs. The number signs are there to indicate to you that the column width is not large enough to actually display the numbers. If you remember, we can auto-fit the columns by moving our cursor between the two columns, C and D. Notice how my cursor changed? Then double click. let's move our cursor between D and E, getting those skinny crosshairs, and double click. Now we can see that the sales amounts were in the over the 200,000 range. All right, let's go ahead and scroll up. Looks pretty good. Now, if we go to our chart on the right-hand side where it says total sales for previous years, we actually want to copy and paste this to a new sheet. So I'm going to go to the bottom of my workbook and click on the plus arrow so that I have a new sheet. I'm going to go ahead and go back to my 2019 sales data. I'm going to select H4 all the way down so that everything is highlighted for my chart. I'm going to go up to my clipboard and click on copy. I'm going to navigate over to sheet 1. With my cursor inside A1, I'm going to go ahead and go up to my drop down for paste. Now, paste has a lot of options, just like with Word, but when it comes to Excel, it has some further options for us. So let's hover over these and go over them. The top options is regular paste, and if we hover over each one, it gives us a preview. Formulas and number formatting. So we'll copy the formulas from the previous worksheet and the number formatting. Keep source formatting, so everything looks the same along with color backgrounds and font sizes. No borders, so it would paste everything but remove the borders. Keep source column width. So this is important if you want to ensure that your column width from the previous workbook transfers over to the new one. And then transpose. We practice this really shortly in the beginning of our units, but transpose essentially changes the manner in which the table is presented. Paste values, which it would just extract anything from formulas or formatting and just literally paste the text and the numbers. Numbers and values formatting, and values and source formatting. Our bottom ones, other paste options, is just to select the formatting. So it would be a blank table. Paste links, picture. So it's not something that we could adjust, but it would paste it like a picture, and link the picture. So for this purpose, we are going to select the numbers and values formatting. Go ahead and click on that. Now we have these hashtags here, so let's double click between B and C and expand that. So if you notice, our table looks a little different from the 2019 sales data. Let's go ahead and practice and paste it another way. Click on 2019 sales data, reselect our table, go up to the clipboard and click on copy, go back to sheet 1, and right below it in A7, let's have our cursor in A7, go up to our clipboard and do the drop down for paste. This time, let's keep source column width and click on that. Now, if you notice, we have a new error under our north column. It says reference. Go ahead and click inside cell B9. Up in our formula row here, we notice that it says sum, but then the reference with exclamation point. The reason we have this error is because we click back on 2019 sales data and click inside I6, which gives us the formula for the totals for the North region for 2017. And look up at our formula bar, we can see that the formula was a sum of manually selected cells. So C11, C5, C17, C23. When we copy and pasted the chart to the sheet 1, it took the formula with it, but the problem is it doesn't have those cells referenced over here on this worksheet, because you can see C7 has text in it, C11 has nothing in it. so it cannot perform the same formula. This is important to understand when you're using paste, so that if you choose the incorrect paste option for the 2016 MOS exam and you get an error, you know how to correct it. All right, we're going to go ahead and leave this just the way it is. All right, we're going to go ahead and navigate back to the 2019 sales data sheet. All right, we notice that there's total sales over here for the previous years. And we have the North completed for 2017, 18, and 19, but we don't have the South, the East, West, Canada, or Puerto Rico/Bahamas regions done. So I'm going to show you, we're going to practice together a couple different ways on how we can add together the total sales for all the regions with the different items, but without literally physically copying it down. Okay, so let's go ahead and have our cursor in J6. And we are going to go ahead and move up to our Formulas tab. And we're going to click on Insert Function. For this function, we're going to use a SUMIF, because what we want to do, our objective, is to add together the sales for 2017 if it's from the South region. So in my search for a function, I'm going to delete this text and type SUMIF and click Go. Our first function comes up with SUMIF, and I click OK. Now it gives me this function argument box, which allows me to build my function. So the range is this range of cells that we want to evaluate. This is the range of the cells where we would find anything that matches the word South. So I'm going to select B5 all the way down to B70, B70. Now our criteria should be South. So I'll just type in South. Our next is our sum range. So once Excel finds all the regions that match South, where do we want them to pull and add numbers from? Well, we want to select the 2017. So we are going to go ahead and select D5 or C5, which is where 2017's data starts, and go all the way down to C70. And then click OK. So it looks like it came up with 143,392. Okay, let's go ahead and do the same thing for the South region again, same function, but this time with 2018 year. I'm going to click inside cell J7, go up to Insert Function, type SUMIF, click Go, click OK. And again, my range is going to be B5 all the way down to B70. My criteria will equal South. And my sum range this time is going to be D5 through D70. And click OK. All right, let's go ahead and do it for the South region again for the year 2019. Go up to Insert Function. SUMIF is already there at the top selection, so we click OK. And our range, if we can remember it from memory, is going to be B5 through B70. Our criteria is going to be South. And our sum range looks like the current year, 2019, starts with E5. So it'll be E5 through E70. And click OK. Sure enough. All All right, let's keep practicing this same formula with East, West, Canada, Puerto Rico, and the Bahamas. So I'm going to go up to Insert Function, Sum If. Again, my range is the same, B5 through B70. My criteria this time is going to be East. My sum range for 2017 looks like it starts with C5 to C70, and click OK. Let's do it for 2019. Insert function, sum if. Range again is B5 through B70. Criteria is East. And the sum range for 2018 starts with D5. So I'll type D5 through D70 and click OK. Now we're going to do for 2019 or the current year. Insert function, select sum if, click OK. And our range is going to be B5 through B70. Our criteria will be East. And our sum range is going to be E5 through E70. Now go ahead and pause here. Look at the formula bar right here. We have the name of the function first, sum if, opening parentheses. The first two alphanumeric codes is the range of cells. East is in parentheses. Every word is going to be in a parentheses because that's called a string. And you have to tell a number that is a string of letters to evaluate. Then our last range is going to be the sum range, and click OK. Our goal is to eventually be able to type this into the formula bar itself without using the function builder. But there's nothing wrong with using the function builder. Let's go ahead and click on the West and let's practice again. We're going to go up to Insert Function, Sum If. Our range is going to be B5 through B70. And I'm just showing you that you can either drag and select, or you can type it in. And we are going to, criteria is going to be West. And then our sum range for 2017 is C5 through C70. And click OK. Let's do the same thing for West again. B5 through B70. Whoops, typo. Criteria is going to be West. And sum range for 2018 starts with D5 through D70. And click OK. Last one for 2019 or the current year, sum if, click OK. And our range is going to be B5 through B70. Criteria will be West. And our sum range will be E5 through E70. And click OK. All right, we're going to save Canada and Puerto Rico / Bahamas for a later video, but hopefully this has got you some familiarity with the insert function for sum if. It's one of the most highly used formulas in Excel, and it will be on the 2016 MOS exam, guaranteed. Last thing we want to do is we want to format these numbers to be dollar signs. So I'm going to select J6 all the way down to L8. Go back to my Home tab and change my general number to currency. And now add some decimal points. Now, if you notice, this one, the north only has 1 decimal and this has 2. So let's go ahead and select I6 all the way down to L8. And let's format it to reduce the decimal so it only shows whole numbers. All right, great job today. Go ahead and save this in your DIT working folder. Save it as Minecraft Farm Sales _ first last name. And after it's saved, go ahead and log into Gmetrics and continue to work on practicing formatting Excel workbooks.